Today we are honored to have Robert Tolan Jr. as our speaker. Robert is a veteran of the war in the Middle East. He's also a leader of Welcome Home Military Heroes and Honor Flight Central Coast, California. Welcome, Robert.
Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today with deep gratitude for the warm welcome extended to me. It's truly an honor to be here in the beautiful town of Cambria. This visit holds a special significance for me, as my father has been a member of this post for many years. Although I've only had the privilege of visiting a few times, every single time you guys have opened your arms and been very graceful to me. As we gather here today, it is our duty to honor the heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice. President Abraham Lincoln once said that a nation that fails to honor its heroes cannot endure for long. Those of us present here today who have served our country, who have lost loved ones, know the sacrifices that come with defending this nation. We know that the price of freedom, the preservation of the Republic, and the defeat of evil often demand the shedding of American blood. In my role as Vice Chairman for Honor Flight, I am humbled to escort World War II, Korean, and Vietnam veterans on a trip to Washington, D.C., where we pay tribute to the names engraved on the World War II, Korean, Vietnam, and other memorials across D.C. Every time I visit, I gaze upon the names etched in stone. I'm reminded of the misplaced priorities of our current society. In today's world, people often idolize individuals who can catch a ball for millions of dollars or portray a fictional character on a scripted screen. News anchors spend hours, if not days, mourning the deaths of sports players, actors, and musicians. Documentaries made about their lives shortly after their passing. Yet our military heroes, the defenders of freedom against evil, are fortunate if they receive 1 minute of national news coverage. While those who have made the ultimate sacrifice receive incredible military funerals, it is often nonprofits and dedicated veterans like here today that attend these funerals. However, those of us that are here today understand the true meaning and sacrifice and bloodshed endured by our brothers and sisters of arms for the past 247 years. We know who the real heroes are. When you visit our national monuments and cemeteries in Washington, D.C. or across the country, it dawned upon us that these men and women did not fight for money, fame, or recognition. They fought for a higher calling. They fought for their fellow Americans standing beside them, for their loved ones back home, and for the millions of Americans they did not know. When I was asked to deliver this speech, the first thing I did was open up the Vietnam Veterans Memorial app on my phone. This app allows you to search for the names, the cities, and the county of individuals who paid the ultimate sacrifice in Vietnam. I discovered that 31 heroes from San Luis Obispo County made the ultimate sacrifice in the war. In April, we had the honor of going back with Honor Flight to Washington, D.C. And on this trip, I made it a mission to pay respects to each one of those heroes. Although all those heroes' names are very important, I want to mention 4 of them. Curtis Cooper, Paso Robles, United States Navy, was 27 years old when he was killed. He's on panel 12 West, line 96. Robert Fryer, Paso Robles, United States Army, 21 years old. He's on panel 35 East, line 40. Donald Lee from Morro Bay, United States Army, 23 years old, panel 49 East, line 12. John Bell, also from Morro Bay, United States Army, 21 years old, panel 49 East, line 39. You guys notice Bell and Lee are both from Morro Bay and they're on the same panel. That's a pretty significant meaning to that. If you guys want to look on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial on how they lined the names on there, or if you guys want to ask me after the ceremony. While our military heroes continue to train throughout the country and across the world, it serves as a stark reminder that evil still exists in various corners of the globe. Our country relies on brave Americans to step forward and defend it. No one pays for peace more frequently than an American service member and their families. As our nation starts building our next national memorial in DC, the Global War on Terrorism Memorial, I pray that after this one's constructed, they will no longer have to build another one. However, we must acknowledge that the ideals of freedom and liberty will always face threats from evil forces, and it is the duties of Americans sacrificing to uphold those ideals. Since the signing of the Declaration of Independence, over 1.3 million brave men and women have paid the ultimate sacrifice. Let that sink in. That's 1.3 million families that no longer have a loved one. They were sons, daughters, brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers. At one point, they embraced their loved ones for the final time. They perished as young boys and girls, some as young as 18, 19, and 20 years old. Now, I may ask in the crowd, is there anyone around the age of 15 or 16? Anyone? How about 12? One? I ask this question because in Vietnam, a 15-year-old soldier named Dan Bullock was killed. In World War II, Calvary Graham enlisted in the United States Navy at 12 years old. Luckily, he did survive the war and lived to 1992. Those killed never had the chance to experience love, to feel the tender touch of a partner, to raise children, to pursue a career, or to say the three precious words, I love you, one last time. Some deployed while their girlfriends or wives were pregnant to never return home and meet their children. Instead of celebrating their birthdays, their families instead were staring at a folded flag. These men and women gave their lives fighting against tyranny, whether it was against Great Britain, the battle to end slavery, the brave soldiers who stormed the beach of Normandy in World War II, those who faced the horrors of Korea and Vietnam. We remember the heroes who endured unimaginable hardships and sacrifices in the deserts of Iraq and the mountains of Afghanistan, defending against terrorism. And let us never forget all of those who served in conflicts, large and small, known and unknown, whose names may have faded with time, but whose courage and unwavering dedication will never fade from our memories. Their eulogies were not broadcasted on national news. Public figures did not publicly mourn their deaths, but their names are etched in stone across our national monuments or on headstones across the country. And that means something. As long as we gather here today, continue to give their sacrifice meaning, their names will endure, their memories will continue, and their sacrifice will not be in vain. Today, somewhere in Poland, Korea, or other parts of the globe, an American service member is training, honing their skills, preparing to defend our freedoms and the freedoms of others. Like our military heroes have done for the past 247 years, they have faced the unknown with a burden on their soldiers that a few can comprehend. Each fallen hero has left an irreplaceable void that echoes in the hearts of their families, friends, and comrades. Today we stand beside those families, offering our support, gratitude, and promises that their loved ones will never be forgotten. Memorial Day serves as a reminder that freedom is not a gift freely given. It is a treasure purchased with the tears of grieving families, the aches of the losses, and the emptiness left behind. But it also serves as a reminder that the spirit of patriotism and the bravery that burns within the heart of our fallen heroes lives on, igniting a fire within us to stand up for what is just and to cherish our gift of liberty. For years, I resented towards those Memorial Day discount commercials. I snapped at anyone who dared to wish me a happy Memorial Day. How could it be a happy occasion when it's filled with profound sorrow? However, a few years ago, a Gold Star mom approached me and said, Robert, you know the best way to honor my son? It is not by being angry, sad, or having hatred in your heart towards those who are enjoying this weekend. It is by doing what you're doing now by remembering, by paying tribute, but it's also by living a life my son can no longer live. You need to remember, Robert, why the flag at noon goes back up to full staff. That message from my Gold Star mom forever changed my mind on Memorial Day. So today, let us not only mourn the losses, but honor the lives that were sacrificed for the greater good. Let us embrace the responsibility to live lives worthy of their sacrifice. May their memories serve as a constant reminder of the preciousness of life, the price of freedom, and the spirit of those who have laid down their lives so that ours may continue in freedom. As I made my journey here from Santa Maria, I couldn't help but notice all the activity taking place across the beaches. People swimming, people attending car shows, movie theater parking lots full, people out wine tasting, and much more. In the past, this would have made me angry, but today I find peace in knowing that people are enjoying these freedoms. Now, I do have two heartfelt requests for you today. Firstly, I ask you that you research the name of a military hero who paid the ultimate sacrifice. It could be anyone that you personally know, someone who's local, like Bell, Lee, Cooper, or Fryer, or even a random name that just catches your attention. I want you to dive into their life, learn who they were. Did they have children? What school did they graduate? And so on. And tonight, as you gather around the dinner table, I want you to share their stories and let their memories echo throughout your country. Now, the second request I have for you today is to embrace the day to savor its offerings. Go out and go wine tasting. Go to the beach. Enjoy the barbecues here or even at home. And greet others with a happy Memorial Day. Joel Patton said, "It is foolish and wrong to mourn the men who died. Rather, we should thank God that such men lived." Today, we celebrate the lives of those who were willing to sacrifice everything for us, engage in the activities they wish they could be experiencing right now. I also ask that you go to your spouse, a loved one, your children, grandchildren, or anyone you hold dear. Tell them you love them. May this day be a reminder that their sacrifices have been granted us the opportunity to cherish these moments. Let us honor their legacy by living lives of integrity, compassion, and service. May we never forget the selflessness they displayed, the valor they embodied, and the profound debt of gratitude we owe them. May their memories be forever etched in the depths of our hearts, and may we strive tirelessly to construct a world that is truly deserving of their sacrifice. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. And a certificate of appreciation, Robert Tolan Jr. Thank you. Please be seated.
Great job, Bob.
Thank you for those heartfelt words. Something we all need to live by and remember the true meaning of Memorial Day, and to be appreciative for the fact that we are free and able to celebrate as we did, and remember those